guys, welcome to the Gay Fox Fundraiser. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a separate video on how I've been really feeling, but just I've been, I'll go deeper into this in another video that doesn't involve Terry so much, but I am going through a bit of a Quebec moment. And what I mean by that is Terry went through this time in Quebec because there was a language barrier, where a lot of people weren't paying attention, and I marvel at his perseverance because it's like because he was like, even in his journal it says, does anybody care here, and like I said, he almost got hit by a semi, and so he kind of went through this time when he had this huge doubt, because not a lot of people were donating, and I think that's why I am right now. And I know people are busy, and I know, serious topics aren't really the ones that catch the most views on YouTube. I know, but what I'm trying to fundraise for is life-saving medicine here. And no, I'm not just doing this because I think Terry's very handsome and like Scruffy Geek for me as a kid. That's part of it. He's a very handsome man. But and yes, I do have a spiritual crush on him. I do. But that's not the reason. The reason is I lost my grandmother, and I almost lost the other one too, to this disease. The reason is I know the pain of cancer. I know that loss. My grandmother completely changed because she found out at stage 4 in February, and by July she was gone. And so my grandmother did not have time to process. She made it to the youngest stage, maybe the bugging, but she was just, things changed for that 6 months, and it was hell. And I love her, and I miss her. And Terry gave his life. Like how he mentioned, he saved mine emotionally. At the time that the presentation changed, so it was more upbeat like him, more hopeful. Because before 2003 it was really dark, and they had somebody talking somberly into a microphone, and black and white pictures, so that's very scary and sad for a very sensitive kid like me. But when they changed it to reflect the hope by adding, I would walk 5,000 miles, I was far too busy reading about him at 9, 10 years old, to really be upset that I couldn't play on the playground anymore. And even when I did get depressing over years, I think it was that fighting spirit that Terry's story gave that really was fundamental in me being able to talk to you today. So when I see it not move, and yes, before one of my friends emails me and says it takes time. Yes, I know. The fact is, I just really want to help this process because I want to be part of the healing. I want to be part of the solution. Because I couldn't help her. I couldn't help my grandmother. I had premonition around Thanksgiving when she wasn't feeling well. Because you gotta understand, my grandmother who passed away from cancer, Spitfire. Like, she was always energetic. You always knew where you were with her. And so and Thanksgiving was like one of her times, you know. And so when she said I'm not feeling well, I was like, uh-oh. And I was like, and I pushed a little bit. I was like, I think you need to go check out. No, by the time I had this premonition, she most likely already was in stage 4, you know. But at the same time, I tried, but people were like, don't push to a decision, you know. And so I couldn't save it. It wasn't my job at 12 years old, no. But the least I can do is raise money in her memory, in Carrie's memory. Please, guys. Please don't just look at me. If you can't donate, share. If you don't know what to say, you don't have to say. I think people get stuck, and this relates to K too. They didn't get stuck in comments. He just went. Um, but sometimes the best thing you do for somebody is to do, not just give typed service, but do. And that is what I'm challenging you to do. Don't just say something because you feel like you have to. If you don't know what to say, please don't say it. Just do. Because the best hug you can give me, the best virtual kiss you can give me, is support for this cause. And the other causes I've been talking about. But this one especially. Please. Because we're over 1,800 people right now. Thank you very much for that. I'm humbled. But if we're over 1,800 people, and we've already raised $1,140, that last $625 for the first goal should not be that high. I know we've got months to do it, but still. I'm asking you now, before I get too frustrated, to please just share, please just donate if you can, because cancer is painful. It affects all of us in some way, whether it's a family member like me, yourself, or one of those really hard to watch commercials just tearing at your heartstrings. It affects us. No one's free from it. You know, when I was a fan Terry, and for some reason for the 25th anniversary, I made this big thing with all the articles, and there was this one Terry reneging out, and I said, why is that? And well, the egg that was with me at the time says, well, cancer's actually on the rise, honey. And our eggs get so, because of the carcinogens and everything else, right? And and I remember thinking, I hope that doesn't happen to me. And then 2 years later, we get a phone call from my uncle. And it happened. Please hear me. Because when I give these videos, it's not just as a little girl fan towards Gary Fox. It's to save people's lives. Maybe in the future, even yours. Just think about it. Okay, love you. God bless. Goodbye.